But allegedly. Yes, sir. Welcome back to Redacted Show. I'm your host, Wafiq, or Feek with my co-host, my other host.
It's your co-host Dana Dane in the building. I'm trying not to scream right now because we got some neighbors that have already complained about my noise. I've only been here 2 weeks.
Dude playing that Project Pat.
And some. I will say sometimes, it was a bit loud. I could have turned it down, but nobody said anything to me. So, but hey, now I know, and I'm moving accordingly. Last thing I need is the police department doing a kick-a-doe, breaking in my shit, talking about put your hands on the ground, hands where I can see you, because the new noise is loud. But we move. But with that being said, again, we are on episode 92.
Ooh.
Appreciate y'all for rocking with us, for continued support. Road to 100, everything. Road to 100 episodes, 100 subscribers, 100 likes, 100 views minimum per episode. We know it's been slow, but that doesn't mean our cause will not speed on its way. So before we get into our main topic, we won't have much because it's kind of been a slow day in the news realm and stuff like that. Obviously, we got upcoming projects like Captain America: Brave New World and other things we're looking forward to from an anime perspective. We know Castlevania Nocturne came out this week. I haven't started watching it, so if you want us to review that, let us know in the comments below, which we probably will anyway, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, again, make sure you guys follow us on all social media platforms at The Redacted Show. Go subscribe to our podcast feed on all listening platforms, and also continue to support the IG Reels and TikToks.
For as long as it's here.
The day of this recording, it is January 18th, allegedly TikTok's last day. And we're just gonna go into it. I personally believe this shit is bullshit.
You think so?
I do. Or I don't want to say bullshit because obviously they passed a bill and stuff like that, but I just do not believe come January 19th, the app will just be removed from our phones or we will not be able to access it. I believe this will be like a Flappy Bird situation. For those, if you remember what happened with that. Now, the guy ended up you remember he just took the app off the app store and you couldn't download it no more. So if you had it, you had it. But once you deleted that game, you couldn't get it back. I think that's going to be what TikTok is. So, you can still, if you have the app, you can still use it. You just can't download it if you don't have it, or if you do, you can't update it no more. So you're just stuck with this version of TikTok forever. Now, there's been news of people, the Congress trying to give it an extended deadline. Joe Biden at this point is like, nigga, get me out of office. I'm not trying to deal with no more shit. All y'all people was getting on my ass. I'm done. Let me just retire and go back to my old people home and just be old. Because now once he's done with this, we can be glad that he's old. Before, he was in a position where being old was, the crime is a wrong word, but just looked down upon. Dude, you're running a country.
It was looked as incompetency.
Exactly. That's with my great grandfather, who just turned 105. Yes, 105 on January 16th. If that man was president, he probably would do a better job than Joe Biden because he seemed more with the shits. But no, we don't need someone that old and inebriated running this country. But that we don't want to bring it that political. We're talking about TikTok and my stance on it. So my stance, to make a long story short, I believe come January 19th, we're gonna wake up. The app is still gonna be on our phone. We're still gonna be able to use it. Now, just certain companies might limit use of it on their networks or their Wi-Fi service. So you might connect to someone's service and it might start running slow or running weird. But hey, all of us at this stage, if you're on TikTok, you got some sort of cellular data. So you can just turn that Wi-Fi off and use it like normal. Now with the other parent companies like CapCut, I know that's a big editing app, which Feek is kind of
I use. Boy. And the crazy thing is,
right now, and I know Ijoba is too because she makes content. So she found something which I think she reached out to you about Adobe Premium. But yeah, so that is something that I don't want to necessarily not shine enough light on. Like I'm just not gonna say I don't care because this is affecting people, but I just think people's fear is in the wrong place. Like I guess
it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny if you open that tomorrow and it say 404 error.
Hey. Man, the way I would be so fucking dumbfounded, I'm like, these people really got me. I would literally have to tip my hat to them because United States, I was not familiar with your game.
Nah, because really, I think the way it's gonna go is I haven't looked a lot into how they're gonna roll out the ban or anything like that, but I think they said pretty much that it's gonna be a point. I don't know if it'll be the exact day or maybe a few days later where they'll start having, like, if you go to the website in the US or on the app, it'll say like, oh, it's not supported in this country or something they said. Right. And so I know some people were saying, oh, what if I just use a VPN? And I think pretty much they said, this was somebody on Twitter, so I don't know if this is real. I'm gonna test it out. But allegedly. But because on TikTok you can link your phone number to it.
Okay.
Like your phone and email, they were pretty much just like, unlink your phone number since it's a US number, unlink that and just have your email, just have an email on there. And then if you use a VPN, then you should be able to use it. Hypothetically. This is all hypothetical.
We gonna find out tomorrow. This people making this shit seem like we about to go in the Y2K in the year 2000. It's the end of the world. But
yeah.
I don't know.
But it's crazy. You know what the crazy thing is, bro? I just keep thinking back to that little hearing, that Senate. I think it was the Senate hearing with the CEO.
And they just was all grilling them,
bro. And they said, I don't know the guy over TikTok's name, but they were like, so you have what they said? They said like, so you have a Chinese background. He was like, Senator, I'm Singaporean. Did they just keep asking this dude if he's Chinese? He was like, Senator, I'm Singaporean.
Yeah, bro. Zhao. Yeah, he's from Singapore.
Bro.
Zhao Xing Chu is a Singaporean business executive who has been the chief executive officer, CEO of TikTok, an online video platform owned by Chinese company ByteDance.
Yeah, ByteDance.
So it said the whole thing is said from the CEO and ByteDance. They had X amount of time to sell the platform, or if they didn't comply, it's getting banned.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, like, all them senators or people talking about like, oh, they're selling it to the Chinese government, all this stuff, and I was like, do they not realize TikTok is banned in China? They can't even use the shit. What are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about, bro? They can't even use the app. You think they selling it to them, bro? They don't give a fuck about that. Boy. Yeah, this is just it's greed, bro. It's
Greed.
with capitalism and monopolizing. But that's fucking. Let's talk about it. This is you see because once they ban this, they're gonna try to move everybody over to like Meta and
I'm about to say they're just
Mark
all gonna go to that
Lizerberg.
meta stuff, and they're because people are just gonna try to use IG Reels, which I mean, I kind of was in the camp of like they're essentially the same thing, but I don't use. I'm going more to learn like it's not like I go to IG
To
and
see,
go to Reel to see TikToks or that form of
yeah,
short term content. I only see it on like my search page and what we post.
exactly same.
But for the most part, I'm on TikTok, and most people will post their TikToks on IG Reels, which with what I think like, oh, it's the same thing. And I have a friend who's like, oh, I don't really have TikTok. I'm on IG Reels, and I tell him, I keep telling him like, nigga, that's the same shit. It's the same thing. You ain't holier than thou because you don't have a platform that I'd have. They're essentially doing the same thing. But yeah, I do see like IG Reels is just like the little brother of TikTok.
Yeah, it's a watered down version. Cause like I talked to you, I think I talked to you and Greg about it. Like if you look at the comments on different platforms, like YouTube, if somebody watches a YouTube video, they're gonna have a somewhat thought out response, right? So that's why YouTube, if somebody comments, that means they watched at least 50%, 30%. TikTok, them niggas, they watch the first 5 seconds, comment. They may not even watch the first 5 seconds. They might watch the first 1 second and they have a comment. But the thing about TikTok is like fast food. IG Reels is like it's like IG Reels is like almost fast food, but you don't know if it's gonna be hot or not. Like you don't know if the food gonna be like when they serve like it, you don't know if it's gonna be hot.
Food truck food.
Yeah, but you don't like 1 week. Like 1 week, it could be like the best thing you had. The next week, you be like, I'm never coming back to this. And YouTube is like full course meal. You got to sit down, establish yourself. You have to pay the bill, pay the waiter. Like,
yeah, YouTube is definitely the more sophisticated platform, which I think it should be. I mean, YouTube has been around. I'm gonna use hyperbole, but since the dawn of time, it's been around for a minute.
I remember when it didn't have ads.
Days, musically, like pre-ads. So YouTube is always gonna be that umbrella to all these other mediums that are trying to be like it. Which I think a lot of people are gonna start moving to that form of content and. Maybe because you see YouTube, they got YouTube Shorts now. So TikTok has created an impact for that. And just to the content creators' perspective, it's changed a lot of people's lives. So, like, I know I have my stance on this, but in all seriousness, I do feel like a bit of empathy for the people that, their lives were changed. They made all this kind of money off TikTok just do this short form of content, and now you're just taking that away from them in this entrepreneurship style. Now what are they going to do? They either because a lot of people don't know how to transition their content to YouTube. They got to stretch that minute long to like 4 or so minutes, unless you're just one of those YouTube
that's just
channels
shorts
where all they do is just shorts.
Yeah, what you could do, which is not like it still be the same, but it's just TikTok gave you more access to people.
Yes,
in a sense, because it was like everybody knows it's fast content, and then on TikTok, I feel like people. This is also the difference. I feel like people aren't as stingy with likes. Like TikTok or repost, they got. Usually, Muffy, I repost everything, bro. I don't care if I like what I see, I'm reposting. I'm like, and I might even comment. If it's funny enough, I'm commenting. YouTube Shorts, I may have went on YouTube Shorts one day. Even when we post our shorts, I don't go on YouTube Shorts. I like our thing.
I'm pretty big on YouTube Shorts. Because I like a lot of my media consumption is through YouTube, whether it's through podcasts, ESPN stuff, comic book, stuff, our stuff. Like I am a big YouTube guy, which is almost one of the reasons why I'm strongly considering like getting YouTube Premium because I use it so much. I'm like,
you'll be paying for YouTube TV next.
Yeah, and that's thing too. But as I already got my subscriptions, it's weird with this media monopoly in the sense, and it's definitely going to be a changed landscape 5 years from now. But I don't know, like with certain, if I'm looking at reviews or something, and I don't necessarily want to watch a full in-depth video, I could just look for if they got shorts for it, because it'll show up with the YouTube search. I'll just go on there. I'm like, okay, I don't really need all of this. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, because I'm like, if it's not on TikTok, I can find it on YouTube. So I'll go back and forth with those. So I think all hope is not lost with TikTok being gone. I think YouTube Shorts is the more smoother transition, that barrier to entry for these content creators to go to YouTube and have that YouTube Shorts. Because I think YouTube Shorts is a better short form of content medium than IG Reels.
Yeah, it's way better than IG Reels. Their algorithm does not make sense. Like I know how to change my algorithm, and even when I look at Reels, none of that stuff connects. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, like I don't even if I went to my IG Reels like section right now,
it's gonna have nothing.
I don't
to do
go
about
to the
I
thing. Like I only watch Reels from people that I follow. So like I will go to their page, or if it's on my Instagram feed, I'll watch their Reels. But I'm not going to the IG Reel section and doom scrolling or just scrolling. No, I'll go to TikTok for that. I don't even do that on YouTube Shorts, and I'm on YouTube more than all these platforms. So who knows? We might do that. If I'm telling you, if TikTok could do something crazy, the U.S. government to do something very crazy tomorrow and prove me wrong. Because until that shit happens, I'm just like,
imagine you scrolling.
And
I'll go turn black. I'll turn to a black screen.
It's gonna be midnight and that's just black.
Oh man, but yeah, that's how we feel about TikTok so far. We'll see tomorrow.
But again, until TikTok is permanently gone, make sure to still engage with our TikToks while you still can. Get that video. We know y'all see. We just talked about how the reach TikTok has. We know y'all see it. We see the views. Those views need to transform to likes and transform to subscriptions. Y'all need to put y'all big boy pants on and watch the whole YouTube platform, the YouTube videos, the podcasts. But moving on to the next topic. Before we get into that, we do want to take some time to remember Disney Renaissance animator Mike Toth. Some of his notable works was Tarzan, Mulan, and Hercules. I hear those, and I'm like, damn, that was like prime Disney.
That was that Renaissance
animation,
the golden age.
Golden. Hey, we can go ahead and get into the. I know we'll take a time one with a silence to remember him. And speaking of golden age, so I was gonna have this as a little redacted, but we're just gonna go straight into this one. So Donald Trump, just came out and appointed. I don't want to say just because maybe this was like a day or so news, but he appointed his ambassadors to Hollywood, which are Mel Gibson, Sylvester Stallone, and John Beat. He says their purpose is to bring back the quote golden age of Hollywood. Feek, how do we feel about these men as ambassadors for Hollywood?
This fake ass title, ambassadors to Hollywood. We're not a serious place, bro. We are a reality TV show with terrible ratings. What would they even do? They're all
thing.
They're all like 90 years old.
What are they doing? What are they doing? And plus, they're all from a certain age, like a certain time that is just not now. Like they're not. The thing about change is
they're not A-list actors anymore.
They were. Yeah. They once were. And the movies they were great.
Exactly.
You're not casting. We're not doing Expendables 5, and Expendables 5 is not making $1 billion.
I'm not hearing Sylvester Stallone's name announced for a trailer and it's going, "Oh God, I got to see this movie." Like, bro,
exactly. Even Mel Gibson, we're not seeing fucking Mad Max again, or he's not coming back for that, or the Passion of Christ.
Like, what are we talking about?
Lethal Weapon. Danny Glover is not coming out of retirement. I don't want to say retirement, but like them people are we just talked about this, old. Like these people are not a reflection of Hollywood today. And that, I think that is me and Wafik's biggest gripe with this. Like, what does this even mean? If you're gonna have ambassadors, okay, you can have at least make it more diverse. Don't just have it with people past their prime. You can have like a old statesman that has been in Hollywood for the game, but have like a current, maybe I'm trying to relate this into like sports terms. Like if they had fucking ambassadors of the NFL, you can have like a Tom Brady on there, but you need to also have a Patrick Mahomes and another rising star like a CJ Stroud or a Jada Daniels. Like, have a mix of people from all times so everyone has an input on and representation.
Exactly.
That's what I think ambassadors should be when you do so. You're supposed to put on a face and represent the brand.
And my thing is, like, they're ambassadors. What the fuck are they ambassading? Who are they talking to? The government?
What talking to the ambassadors of Bollywood and Nollywood.
Bro, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is
that the council talk about, ban TikTok.
They sitting there saying we need to.
No,
this is all, bro. Fairy dust, bro.
Who would you have as
my ambassadors? My ambassadors to Hollywood. If I had made ambassadors to Hollywood, I'm having Tyrese. That's a given.
Tyrese, Samuel L. Jackson, and Jonathan I'm playing.
Nah, that's too black. It's too black. We only get one. We only get one.
One. Tyrese, I guess.
It has to be. See, if they were really serious, they would do somebody like Matt Damon or Ben Affleck, because they actually speak about important things outside of Hollywood. But they speak too much about important stuff.
Or if you're gonna have just actors, have actors that have directed, which I think we know Sylvester Stallone has. He's directed and stuff like that. Don't get me lying about Mel Gibson and John Viat. I don't know what else they've done in terms of directing, but someone like Michael B. Jordan. Again, this is too many niggas, but maybe I don't know, like you said, like a Matt Damon, a Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. But they wouldn't, like I said, they wouldn't add no Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, because they be talking about real world issues. And they don't like that, so.
Oh,
No, you know who? You know who? I'm surprised he ain't put what's the Flash crazy ass?
Ezra Miller.
Yeah, I'm surprised he ain't put his crazy ass on there.
Too busy getting rehab.
Is he? I wouldn't know. They got that boy.
Get rehab.
They got that boy in Arkham Asylum. But yeah, yeah, get rid of that. Because at this point, ambassadors for Hollywood, shit, we need ambassadors for everything now. Then ambassadors for ice cream,
interesting.
ambassadors for video games.
You got Baskin Robbins, you got Bluebell, and you got.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, Costco's ice cream.
Like that.
That's just some heat, boy. Hey man, that people that go to Costco, you know, that is some heat.
Okay.
But yeah, they playing in our face, bro. That stuff goofy.
Fucking boo boo the fool or something. I'm like, there's no way. Moving on. So there's a tweet that kind of went viral. For some reason, the Black Panther, people have been too caught up about this Black Panther role because we saw the news about, or not news, but the tweet go viral about Michael Irvin being cast, who then came on a podcast. It is what it is, Cameron May's pod, and made a case for him. So he's like, I should be, I'd be able to body that role. He said, even brought up the fact we got a Black Captain America. We just do it. We do it big, over here. Yeah. So if Marvel is serious about their money, they will not touch Michael Irvin.
I don't want to see Michael Irvin near any project from Marvel. I don't care. Bro.
That's his battle cry. I'm about to get another phone call.
Bro, make that nigga future Killmonger.
Oh shit. Future Kill, that'd be insane.
Oh my goodness, bro, I'm crying.
But, so someone tweeted saying, I'm about to share my screen for the tweet so the audience can see it, but this is a problem I have with Twitter and just media in general, because anyone can say anything and it could be true. But this man tweeted, Damson Idris reportedly turned down the role for Black Panther. He would have been a perfect one to do it too. Oh well. On the surface, that's not. What's flagrant about this tweet is like, why would you say something so egregiously false? Like, I know he said reportedly, and then this tweet was like,
that's the first comment.
Looked up the definition, but then Damson Idris quoted it saying, "Yes, sir, I turned down 007, a co-lead film with Daniel Day-Lewis and an Eddie Murphy biopic too. Upside down smiley face emoji." So obviously, he's trolling. This is joking.
Mm-hmm. He's being sarcastic.
Obviously being facetious. Because he's like, there's no way I would turn down a role like that. So I think too many people are taking him serious, because there were comments in there saying like, why would you say that? Like, why would you flex that? Like, that's not a real thing. And I'm like, nigga, because it's not real.
Exactly.
Like, he wouldn't flex some shit like that.
And why would a random Twitter user just know this information and no other news outlet, at least reputable?
He's like, he didn't even tag none. He didn't tag no Hollywood Reporter, no Insider, no Variety, nothing. He literally just tagged them.
That nigga
That goes to show, I don't mean to cut you off, but that goes to show these people watching. Because we like to get on KD for being sensitive like that. All of these celebrities are on media and they watch, or if they don't watch, someone is on their team and they telling them about it. So they see all the shit talking people are doing on these apps, particularly Twitter and Instagram. But I just thought that was insanely hilarious because,
bro, this is
he tried to hide behind the fact that
he said allegedly.
I use reportedly, don't kill me, because if you do look up the definition of reportedly, it's just saying essentially someone told me this, but I don't have any facts to back up this claim.
Bro, this
is a justified lie.
This is how niggas on Twitter be, bro. Hold on, let me share this. Share my screen.
Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source? My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Bro.
People get on here and just make anything up. That's the scary thing about apps like Twitter too. I'm looking up because my neighbors upstairs above me have a really bad problem of just creating noise on the ceiling. They're doing something right now, so y'all probably can't even hear it, but apparently they can hear me. But that's neither here nor there. Moving on, that was kind of all our topics we had. We're going to get into our Like It or Redacted segment. So the first one we have is James Cameron, obviously the directors for the previous two Avatar movies, says Avatar Fire and Ash is approximately 3 hours long. The Fire Clan that is supposed to make an appearance in this movie is supposed to be the villains, and the Wind Traders will appear, which are a nomadic tribe that travels through the air. Fee, what do you like, love, or redact about this news and these updates?
Everything. First off, I ain't sitting in no 3 hour movie again. Not Avatar.
Again? Because how long was that second one?
It felt like 3 hours. Shit. Now, I don't know how long it was. Excuse me.
That movie was 3 hours and 12 minutes.
Bro. And they said the fire, he's playing in y'all face. This man said the Fire Nation attacked. He's doing Avatar The Last Airbender, but with aliens. He's playing in y'all face, bro. This is not, what are we doing? This is my gripe with just a lot of these writers and stuff or directors. They get a good concept first. They did good. Like the first Avatar, it was good. I know people say that's one of the best movies they've seen. It's not the best movie I've ever seen. Nowhere near. But it was a good movie. It was very good.
Right.
The second one, forgettable. This one, he's doing Avatar The Last Airbender in your face. Like, what are we talking about, bro? What are we doing? Yeah.
They're all just wanted to say, you gonna see the nomad traveler traders, the Wind Traders.
One of them gonna have an arrow on their head.
One gonna have an arrow on their head, or they're gonna have a braid the shape of an arrow, just bouncing on air balls and shit.
And they'll go in an Avatar state. Boy, I take away your bending. They probably do. Shit. We don't have the lizard dragon stingrays. We have flying bisons. Like, bro, redact this shit, bro. Get this shit off my screen, bro. How do you feel about it?
Just kind of like redact this. I mean, I redact is being 3 hours long. Fire Nation, Wind Nation.
Yeah. Like, if you did, it's so many other things you could have did with this story outside of using the fire and outside of making these 2 random nations. Because even in the second one, they talked about how was it the blood of those whales, or it was something how it makes humans live longer.
Yeah.
You could have went more into that story because honestly, when you brought it up, you brought it up for
over
5 minutes and glossed over. I said, nigga, this is more interesting than what you've been showing me this whole movie.
Yeah.
So they have so many other avenues, but money.
Money, indeed. Next, so Anthony Mackie went on an interview with Fandango before the premiere of Captain America: Brave New World, and he talks about his reaction to finding out how he became Captain America. I'm gonna pull up the actual video for it because hearing it is just a lot better than me reading the quote itself. So give me a second as I share my screen.
I found out from him. And it was just us, like, jumping around in a circle, high-fiving, like, two 12-year-olds that just met Mickey Mouse.
Chris Evans told you were going to be Captain America.
Yeah. How was it?
That's my question.
I'm like, how was it? The movie's good then. It went well. In Atlanta, there was a bunch of us at his house. He had this crazy house. We're sitting there watching a game, shooting shit. It's like paper. It's crazy. So he goes, have you read the new script? I said, no. He's like, you haven't read he's like, you don't know? I'm like, damn. And being black, I'm like, I'm a die. Damn. Like, they're getting rid of me, man. I don't even cause no trouble. I stand in the back like I don't bother nobody, right? So he's like, come on. So we run. He had this house. In his house, he had a trap door that went to a basement that was like a man cave of all man cave. He has all of his like Marvel stuff laid out in his new script and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is your prep room. Like, this is your work room, So he comes down, he gets the new script. He goes to like the last 10 pages and he goes, read it. So me thinking they killed me off, he's just looking at me like, huh? So I get to the part and it's like, I'm reading the scene between us and he goes, he hands him the shield. I'm like, so why'd you give me the shield? He's like, because you're Captain America. Like, what? So literally we hug, we jump up and down, like spit. It was hilarious. Then we go upstairs and watch football and, it was a great time. And I couldn't imagine like finding out any other way.
So how do we feel about that wholesome reaction? Like, my thing is, how do you not, as someone who used to be a Falcon hater, I hated his character. I was probably in the camp where I'm like, yeah, kill this dude off. He don't do shit. But I would say what helped me try to change my mind was Falcon and Winter Soldier, seeing him in different projects, just him as a person. And now he's Captain America. It's just in these different trailers and promoter arts, I'm like, this is going to be like a good movie.
Oh, it is.
Just like hearing his story about how he found out becoming Captain America, I'm like, how do you not love that? Like, that's your homeboy. Like, just happy for him. Shout out to Chris Evans for giving him this mantle and putting on this symbol for America. Like,
and being a real one.
Yes. Because he probably did. There's no way he didn't have a say in who he thought should be the next Captain America. And he probably was like, obviously he said, I think it should go to Bucky. Or not Bucky. It should go to
Falcon.
It should go to Falcon.
Sam Wilson.
So I think he's all deserving. I think he's going to kill it in this role. I'm still wondering how the hell he's going to fight Red Hulk, but we'll see that on the big screen on February 14th. But yeah, I love this. I love this reaction. I love that interview. Everything about it. All the more reason y'all need to go see this movie.
Facts. Please go see this movie.
But moving on to the next one. Marvel Studios is reportedly, that's the word of the day today. Marvel Studios is reportedly eyeing Aldis Hodge to play the iconic role of Black Panther in an upcoming MCU film. Do we like, love, or redact this news or this idea? Because
it's reportedly
is factual.
Yeah. I think for a fan casting is good. 'Cause I think we said the same thing when we originally did one like last year or I don't know when we did one, but because I remember when we said in the Justice League, I mean not Justice League,
The Black Adam,
the
Justice Society,
and Black Adam when he was playing Hawkman, that we were like, you could be Black Panther, like the way he was acting, and it was like Black Panther. So he definitely I feel has the demeanor and everything, and he can act. So I mean, I'll say like until I hear it's real news where they're actually eyeing to get him, then I'll say love. But right now, I'll just be like, it's cool.
To be honest, because he played Jon Stewart. First of all, I love this news because I think he's a good actor. I think he could definitely kill this role. Like we brought up, the DC, I think with him playing Hawkman was their version of Black Panther because he had all the tech, he had all this fancy shit. He just was the smartest dude in the room right next to Dr. Fate. So like they were essentially trying to do a Black Panther through him. So I'm like, if the dude can just have some semblance of an African accent, there's no reason he can't play T'Challa.
Exactly.
So I love this news. I personally would have loved for him to be Jon Stewart, Green Lantern, because he voice acted Jon Stewart in the new like DC Tomorrowverse movie, Green Lantern movie, when it was him and they ended up fighting Parallax.
He would have been a great Jon Stewart.
He would have been a great Jon Stewart.
Live action, but yeah.
And again, I'm not saying this because I don't like Aaron Pierre, even though
no, I'm joking.
He tried to take everybody girl right now, but I love this news. If it is true, you know, I wouldn't be mad either way if it was him or Damson Idris. But yeah, or Michael Irvin.
That shit.
And he's American. Hey, more American actors in these roles. American Black actors. We
Maybe
have more than just Jonathan Majors, Samuel L. Jackson, and Michael B. Jordan. And Idris Elba. Idris Elba ain't even...
I would say he's definitely British.
He's definitely British. You could have fooled somebody with his role in The Wire.
I was about to say. Nah, this is why we need the ambassadors for Hollywood looking ass.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize he had a brother, Edwin Hodge, who was in. He was in the first Purge movie, but moving on to the next news. Millie Alcock, Supergirl, will appear in Superman, according to the Hollywood Reporter. Do we like, love, or redact this news?
I'll say like. I thought her movie was a. Never mind. I'll say like. I'm trying to remember what they said the synopsis of her movie was for Supergirl.
I think it's definitely supposed to be like a 1-to-1 of the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic book run. So whatever, I'm not sure if that's a true origin story, but just like coming of age story. So
Okay.
maybe that movie takes place before this. I'm gonna say Redact just off the premise of like why. Like I feel like there's already enough
There's a lot of people
superheroes
in
in
this.
this movie that
There's
we
a lot
just
of people.
know. Who knows who else they reveal? And I'm like, for us to find out reportedly that from the Hollywood Reporter that she's gonna be in this movie, I'm just like, why? She has her movie coming out. I'm just like, let these two stand stand strong in their own movies and then have them come together. And because I'm like, the only way I see her showing up is in like at the very end of the
flashback.
movie, or like maybe either that or like an end credit scene. But I don't know. I'm not on board on its surface. But next, we are going to get into our infamous bag. V, drop the music.
Yeah, bitch, I'm in my bag, bag, bitch, I just made a bag, bag, bitch, I just made a bag, bag of big bag.
Had to turn down my volume a little bit to make sure
they send an email.
Yeah. Make sure I can still get my security deposit. But I know you had this week's Redacted rule.
So this week, our bag question is: if you had to suggest at least 3 animes to somebody who's totally green, doesn't know anything about anime, what 3 would you suggest?
I would say my first one is definitely Mob Psycho. My next one is, and all this is just dependent on what the person likes ultimately. So my 3 could be different than someone else's 3, could be different than someone else's 3, depending on the person they're talking to. This is just my 3 I would recommend to someone, not knowing what they like. Mob Psycho. I would also throw in Jujutsu Kaisen. I would not throw any of like the old established like big 3. I would not recommend that to them as someone who's just new to Hollywood, just new to anime, because you don't want to give them this big assignment, this big intimidating show, because then it's gonna make it seem like homework. Like, man, I gotta catch up on all this, and that's just not what I would recommend to someone new. My third would also be Death Note. I think that's a good one with a really good old anime and really good dubbed and just very followable story. It's just a main character going crazy and trying to hide his Death Note.
Yeah.
So those would be my 3.
Yeah, I know for me, some of those that you said, I would definitely throw in there as well, Mob Psycho, Death Note. But for my 3, I would do, even though I'd be talking about it, I would do Demon Slayer, just because it's very straightforward. It's not too intricate. It's what demon we killing this week. So it's an easy story to follow. Okay, I thought of something. If I would do 3, Demon Slayer, like I said, because it's straightforward. I would also throw in My Hero. I feel like My Hero has enough where it's happy enough that an average person can follow it. There is times where it dips, obviously, into different other topics, but it stays kind of near that medium for the most part until like the final season, where a new watcher can follow and not be like stressed watching, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I think a last one would be Akame Got Killed. Because like the same is straightforward. I forgot how many episodes Akame Got Killed. 13? 12 or 13. I know it ain't more than 20. So I think that's 3 that's very simple to watch and somebody could follow easily. Last one I would throw in there, low key. Erased.
That's a good one.
I think Erased is good enough for somebody. If they watch at least one anime, you could throw them Erased to branch them into like a different section, like isekais and mystery type anime.
I like that. I like that recommendation. That's a good one. I would say my two honorable mentions are like One Punch Man and Marshall. Cause it's just
that is good.
A nigga fighting. If you like fighting, it's just that.
That actually
not much. It's just fight boxing. Obviously, JJK has that too, but if you're not into, I guess, the homework side of like understanding how curse energy works and curse techniques and domain expansions and all that, if you're not willing to delve into much of that, One Punch Man is just a man
who punches once.
Marshall, a man
who punches people. And it's goofy enough. Where you're not like you're laughing in the episode. So no, those were good.
But I don't have another get in our bag question. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into our final segment, which is our redacted rule. I was gonna say my redacted rule for today is keep your volume down because people are listening. That's it. No, nothing said. Just understand where you're at. People are listening, and keep your volume down. And just understand how you look like, because you may have neighbors that stomp around above you, but let you say something about it. Now they're looking at you crazy. So just keep your volume down. Stay out of the way. And yeah.
Okay. My redacted rule this week is if you're gonna work out, warm up and stretch. I do it to a degree, but sometimes I just be like, I need to get this workout done. And then when I wake up the next morning, my body is
pins and needles.
Yeah. Feel like I'm 87. So yeah. Stretch and warm up before you go work out.
That is a good one. Well, with that being said, it's been another great episode 92 again. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, comment, share. Just follow us on TikTok. That shit not going nowhere. Follow us on Instagram.
All right.
Follow us on Red Note. Nah, I'm playing.
Honestly, you know what? I might. We'll see in the coming
With
weeks.
that being said, it's been your boy Dana Dane,
your boy Wafiq,
and we out.
Peace.
Recipes call me, I'ma show 'em how to shoot. On the 4-5, jump in the ass, my crew. Yeah, I'm step with a fan, keep it all of the hoes on mute. Pull a little part, could be yellow with a brew. 48 for a quick burst. Crazy 8s in the back, yeah, the trunk on hot like a cue. 40 on me when I'm in the backseat. Blotter, paper pre-cut. Chris make juice, it'll drop like Shane came with a clean plate, came with a sink. The Parator came with a mate. Tricones white like paint. My hoe by the hoe, cause she know it's my king. Hit on my side, cause I drop a song. Think you should hit up the link. The phenotype came from the pink Colombian thing. Yeah, the genetics unique. Cellular right on the beat. I'm teaching the hoe like I'm Play-Doh. I got the veggies like by the tomato. You got a basic hoe making Alfredo. I put a bag on a hoe on my payroll. I get active at night, then I lay low. The semen was breaded with panko. Struck in my soup, I believe it was made.